Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. Thank you for tuning in. This is a third video in painting clouds. The first one was a regular cloud. The second one I did was a red sunset or early morning cloud. And this one I'm going to try to do a storm cloud. There's no reference images, but again, if you haven't seen the first two episodes, but I'm just going to do a 1-minute demonstration of just idea of a cloud. That would be a 2 flat if that's the light direction. Think cloud as a volume, so that would be how it would make, you would see it as a 3D. If I want to make it look like a bit more of a kids cloud, think in terms of volumes, different masses combined together to give you that cloud. Same thing if that one is a 2D cloud, but try to add a little more volume. If you think in terms of those, the cloud will look like a cloud. So a storm cloud has lots of obviously gray. I am looking at a picture from in Google. It's from a Getty Images. I don't have a copyright, so I'm just gonna do a simple horizon. Maybe it has a barn somewhere and a winding road. Doesn't have a road, but and then the clouds are multi-layered, something like that. I'm gonna try to attempt that. So obviously the lower it is, it's a lot more darker, and then there are dark clouds. There's a little more dark. It all makes sense, but I'm just roughly using that as a reference to show how I'm going to do. I'll add this picture in the video so that you know what my reference is going to be. So let's not waste, and then let's start. So as I said, a little bit of horizon. Let's add a small house or a barn, and then maybe a little bit of road. Something like that. And the clouds I will paint directly because you don't need to draw the clouds, but if you are comfortable, please use it. The material wise, I'm using fat mops. The paper is a Saunders 300 grams rough paper. Make sure that you mask it properly because it's going to be a lot of water, or it's wet on wet. On my right, I have a John Pike palette. It has about 20 colors. My yellows, my browns, my reds, greens, and blues. Let me know if you're interested in what colors I'm using. I can post it on the video. I got 2 bottles of water. One is dirty to clean the regular brush, and the other one I try to keep it clean for washes or to pick up cleaner pigment. Let's crack on with it. So I'm going to use maybe a little bit of cerulean blue, that area. So as I said, that's how the images are. So I'm going to just use a little bit of cerulean blue. I'll try not to touch that. A little bit of cerulean blue. And this is all on the go. I'm going to use I'm going to try and then see if it looks like a stormy cloud. Also, while I'm painting, I'm just going to keep a little bit of tissue so that I can dab in just to create the cloud effect. So I'm gonna come back a little more dark, a little more water, a little more gray. This is burnt sienna. I'm gonna use a little black, blue. Don't worry, be brave. I'm gonna just come back and then create a little effect. Continue with the journey. So I'm gonna create a little more blue shapes, add a little more brown. Paper is getting too dry while I'm coming in and then just creating a little more shadow. And I'm gonna go a little more dark here. Dark, dark. And again, I'm gonna come back. Create a little more. While I'm taking out a little bit of material, I'm also being careful not to press too much. I'm just leaving a little more texture just to create the cloud effect. Okay, all right. So I'm going to just switch to smaller brush. I'm going to come in a bit of red. I didn't want to dip into brown, blacks, and then I'm going to come in add even more dark. Places. Remember, I'm just building a story. I'm taking a new tissue, making sure I'm breaking down the harsh edges, making it a little more softer, breaking down a little more edge. Okay, I'll continue. I'll add a little more. I don't know why I keep dipping into brown. I want to do ultramarine, a little red. Okay, and I continue with a little more darker tones here. And I'll come back before it dries to make the edges a little more soft. Okay, that's about and I'm happy with that. And also keep in mind, if it looks too dark, it's always going to be a little lighter when we come back. So once it dries, it's going to get a lot drier. Okay, and there's a couple of edges. I'm gonna come back, pick my blues, make it a bit paler. and come back, do the same effect what we did before if you haven't watched it. So I'm just trying to add a few more layers to it. I'm gonna do build the cloud, so to speak. Maybe a few more. Okay, so I think I'm almost there. I'm just gonna add a little more black. Don't be afraid. Okay, it has a black, a little bit of brown, just dark clouds. Okay, and maybe what I'm going to do is a little bit of cinnamon blue. I'm going to just make it a little pop out a little more. Now the reason I'm trying to do is I need to make it look like it's raining in this corner. So I'm just going to build that. First of all, I'm going to just add a couple of really small clouds here. And with a little bit of brush, a stiff brush, I'm just adding the rain. So maybe a little more darker here. That gives you a feel for clouds. And then also I'm gonna just draw a couple of scattered lines that gives a feel for. Okay, that's about it. That I'll let the paints dry while I just finish up the foreground a little bit more. I'll just use a synthetic brush. I'll leave the roof a lot more green to my liking. This exercise is not about trying to, this is just for the clouds, but I'm just gonna cover up. Probably should have taken a little more bigger brush, but that's the job. Okay, a little bit of yellow ochre for the road, less travel. A little bit of shrubs. A little reddish gray. Property. that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Just gives you how a stormy sky can look like. Uh, hope you enjoy, practice it, and then till next time, keep practicing, and then see you next time. Bye.